Canada now. I was born in South Africa, so I'm kind of an international person. Um, about a year ago, I found myself in a kind of a crisis with like, without getting into too much detail, like, I come from I do come from abuse. Like, I come from a pretty crazy household. So like most people would, when they find themselves unhoused, when you find yourself in a situation where you aren't housed, you could always just, like people say, oh, why don't you just go to, some, family member's house. But all my family members, they live in South Africa, and I don't really know too many people here. And yeah, I was just, like, it's kind of a last option kind of thing. Nobody does it willingly. You don't just like decide to just be homeless. It's just like you have no other choice in the situation. So I just found myself in I just found myself in a position where I like was living in the streets in 2000, July 2004. So last year, like around this time, I found myself where I was like, oh my gosh, like I have nowhere to go. So I would just sleep, under the stars, right? I was sleeping under the stars. I literally had nowhere to go, and this was like in my community. So like there was like a soccer, baseball, basketball area there. So I was just sleeping there, and it wasn't really fun. It was difficult to kind of like, because like, where do you eat, right? Where do you shower and do the things that you're accustomed to? And then once it started getting a little bit colder, because it does get cold in October, right? You have to find some place to go. You have to. So then like I didn't want to go in like shelter. I was kind of like, and then, like, again, when you find yourself in a situation where you have to, it was like the last place I could go to. So I found myself there. And, the people that work there, if it wasn't for them, like they're really good, like good souls. They were good people. They were a lot like you, Malia, like a lot like you. Like they have heart. Yeah, big hearts. So that's been my experience with being in a situation where you're just unhoused temporarily, and you're just like, it feels like a nightmare at first. It really does feel like a nightmare, and you just have to be hopeful, and you just have to keep working on you and stuff like that. You have no choice. It teaches you something though. Like honestly, like I've accomplished more this year than I in the year when I was homeless, in the year that I've been homeless, than I've ever accomplished. Ever. It's insane, right? So it kind of gives you grit, because you have to like, nobody's gonna do it for you. That's the harsh reality. You got to just make it happen, right? That's my story.
Okay, left the shelter, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
Are you safe?
There
Like,
was
do
a
you feel safe
situation where like
there?
I did move out with a friend that I met. So I met a guy in the shelter who was really sweet. He was really cool. And then he was older, and it was like it was good because I was thinking like I want somebody like a roommate that's like stable, right? Um but the lease came up on that. So then like yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I'm back, right? But yeah, yeah.
What's your plan? What's your plan? Really?
So I just finished a computer engineering program, software engineering, right? So um, uh, I've got like a second interview with a company which looks really good as like a entry level software developer. So that's the plan to get out of that. I'm also an actor too, by the way. So like I want to be on TV. I want to be on shows because I love to act, and not because of the fame. It's just I love the craft, right? That's what it is for me, right? So um
Well,
wow. I'm going into my second year at a school called a New Image College for Fine Arts, right? Um, um, I'm at the stage where, like they say it's a bit taboo to kind of get into it before like so anyways, like my brand, I'm gonna be like more grounded, like more of a my style of acting, I'm more grounded, more centered. I like conversations, but real dynamic conversations, like kind of an HBO kind of thing. So if like I don't necessarily have a company or brand right now, but like that's if when I think about what I want to be able to do, I want to be able to make good movies, kind of like a Robin Williamsy, and then give back to the community. I heard that he hired a whole bunch of people on his sets that were homeless. So that's the idea. I want to get to a level where I could dictate who I want on my sets, and they're all going to be people from the shelters. just to give them an opportunity, right?
Wow, that's amazing. Do you have any
I have social
website?
media. My social media is my first name and my last name, so P-O and then M-O-L-E-F-E. It's just on Instagram. That's my Instagram handle. Yeah, and you'll see me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Poe San Diego, thank you so much for joining us and just telling your story. And I wish you well. I wish you much success.